Hi Leo, welcome into a brief next 48-hour tarot reading for you. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading, for your presence, but I do want to remind you, as always, keep in mind as we move forward with the reading, this is general, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind, but it's also meant to pertain to the following 48-hour period for you, beginning around when you were guided or drawn to this video, not just following when I post it, okay? But I did pre-pull a couple of oracles from the Pure Magic deck. And it was interesting. I went to go shuffle, but I split the deck right to the two cards I was meant to take. But the bottom of the deck also felt quite relevant, mainly due to the imagery. It's this feeling where you want people to be quiet, you want things to feel peaceful. And one of these cards does speak upon peace. We have the down the moon, drawing down the moon. I almost said drawing down the door. But anyways, in the Sylph's card, if I even said that correctly. But this one talking about peace, agent of change, impact, and importance. I feel like in certain ways, but one big way, you're making an impact in the next 48. I feel like your energy, your way of being, your view, and even your change in approach is adjusting the feeling, the atmosphere of a situation, okay? And that in of itself is quite powerful. But I feel like Spirit's saying your energy is to be protected because it's of huge importance, okay? And I feel like you're thinking about how your mind and your manifestation skill set is blossoming, okay? And I feel like your center focus on the next 48 is what you need to accomplish, but more so your peace, right? And I would say to an extent, side by side, they're two of your main focuses. But with this card here, I feel like your third eye is opening, work being done with your hands in one way, shape, or form. Excuse me. I'm hearing the stars are aligning for you. The stars are aligning for you. Two other messages with that. I got a triangle, the spiritual meaning of that, as well as the number 3. Okay, look up the spiritual meaning for the number 3. There is a message for you. So interesting, because I have been meaning to get a tattoo of the number 3 inside of a triangle, as simple as that sounds. But yeah, this one talks about divine feminine as well as source. So I feel like you're very spiritually connected in a very positive sense in the next 48. Sure, some spiritual messing with might take place, but it's this feeling that even if you have had such a heaviness added to your life from your spirituality at times, up until this point along your path, it's like it's adding a lightness, a level of clarity, and just an assistance that feels quite gratifying all the meanwhile. It gives you this sense of peaceful power. And I really do feel like you're also adding that peace to your own situation all the meanwhile. So it just feels like you're quite centered and grounded in the next 48. And people are going to notice that in through your work, through speaking to you, conversations, right, catching up, through your lack of response at times, and through your mannerisms and the way you're moving, strutting, going out and about, okay, accomplishing. But I do feel like you're potentially a channel being drawn to this reading, and doing it quite well. Yeah, there's a focus on tattoos for whatever reason, and if that doesn't end up coming to be for you, it could be for other people and not your own tattoos or the wanting of which. But I feel like body figures coming into play as well. The number 5, as I add up 4 and 1, and 11, okay? Those two numbers being of relevance as well. But we know we know that 5s, bear with me, that 5s do typically in these readings speak upon change. And I can't help it when I think of 11, think of abundance. They're saying luck, okay? But stillness standing out over here, because I really do feel like there's a beauty in the still moments in the next 48 where you don't force it. You can't. I was doing a meditation earlier, right? Getting ready for my day for these readings. And I heard there's a power in being still. I don't know if that was exact wording, but there's a beauty and a power in being able to master the art of stillness. Okay, but let's continue and pull from the Animal Tarot. Is that what it's called? They're saying let's just roll with it. I feel like there are times when you feel like you're winging it in the next 48 or just kind of guessing, but I feel like your guesses are gold, okay? Your predictions are gold, and your channeling is even more golden. What do we have for Leo to continue for the next 48? Your connection to the moon naturally will take a focus. I feel like you, if it's not you, it's somebody else. You're mirroring somebody else's actions or way of being, or the way they keep up with a situation or deal with something. And if that's not you mirroring somebody else, it's, yeah, vice versa, right? Could be both. Let's see here for Leo, flying onto the ground. We have the Four of Wands. I almost said swords. So I feel like you could be reminded that you're protected, okay? And again, the protection of your own inner peace and the silence going into it all. But I do feel like with the Four of Wands, the next 48 highlights the fact that things are truly falling into place for you. And it's this point along your path, it's this chapter specifically, where that feeling or just that process of things falling into place isn't meant to feel overwhelming. It's not meant to feel anxious. It's not meant to feel stressful. It's meant to just feel like the gradual progression of things just working out for you, right? And I feel like you're going to get a message in regards to a specific bird or birds in general. I do feel like there's going to be a connection to nature that feels quite refreshing, okay? And so if you can, if Mother Nature allows it, step out into nature one, if not multiple times in the next 48. And I feel like it's going to be one of those still sort of quiet moments of peace for you, where you can come back to oneself and just even potentially channel from spirit and be one with them, with that realm. But I do feel like as well, there could be a moment of realization or remembrance or both, or several moments of which, okay? And I really do feel like, again, that 5 and seeing the moon there, just looking like a general circle to me, typically speaking upon completion, okay? And so think about it for a hot second, and it's not going to take long for you, I feel, but what changed recently, okay? What did you complete recently, and how has that affected you in a positive sense, in a peaceful sense? It's this feeling that when you release a person, place, or a situation, okay, and it feels like not effortless, but it feels like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders, or it just feels like you did the right thing. You made the right choice for oneself, okay? The Page of Pentacles, because I do feel like there's an underlining focus on a new position of employment for oneself, a new opportunity connected to your money, whether it's making more, spending more, could be an investment. But Spirit's saying, remember, divine timing is at play, regardless of how rushed you feel at times or how pressured you feel or how other people feel, okay? Other people's opinions should not be of importance at this time. No offense to them, okay? They're saying I'm reminding Spirit of a reader I was just watching. He's very zen. Anyways, for Leo to continue. Again, flying onto the ground. It's this feeling that you're not rushing in the next 48, and that's working to your advantage, okay? But we also have the 5 of Swords. So, I mean, I feel like you're thinking about past stresses. Okay, we're not going to take this one, but you're thinking about past stresses, or there might be levels of energy or just one spirit coming to visit you potentially, or it could just be more due to your job or a connection. And that may be what's initiating or has recently initiated you wanting to bring more peace into your situation, okay? Or more so could be centered around or based in you wanting to see your work come to be in a more productive, less chaotic manner, okay? Reminds me of me wanting my readings to come out less shaky in my voice, right? And I'm seeing evidence of my meditation and just, it's more than that, but yeah, it's affecting this reading in a positive sense, I feel. But death, yeah. So we're putting an end to things feeling a bit rocky, a bit unstable, just less comfortable for you, right? Step by step, day by day, you're going to see, they're saying week by week, you're starting to see, or you will start to see, your situation become more comfortable, more at ease, and more peaceful for oneself. This is the type of life you're meant to live. Just because you're a Leo, just because you're a fire sign, doesn't mean you should be living an upbeat lifestyle 24/7. sure, that thrill, that fun, that passion does feel invigorating and on point for you at times, but it's about finding that balance. And who said that passion and enjoyment can't stem from a peaceful way of living, right? And again, this naturally speaking upon that five, that circle, and the completion from the recent past that we were speaking upon. So let that light a fire within you in a peaceful way to keep reevaluating, to keep asking oneself what else needs to be completed, even breaking it down as far as habits to see one's life head in a more peaceful direction, right? Continue to improve. And I feel like there's also a slight focus on, if not a full focus in the next 48, on you continuously improving oneself, right? Admitting to oneself and to other people, I'm not perfect, right? And I'm not trying to be, but at the same time, that imperfection works to your advantage and that improving is inspirational, at least the efforts to doing so. And all the meanwhile, it's helping you in so many ways. One more for the top right. I'm not going to take that. We have the Queen of Swords naturally, okay? Queen of Swords, cutting out the noise is what I'm hearing, cutting out the noise. And I feel like the selective choosing in regards to who you speak to, associate oneself with, even what energies to give power to, and what locations to stay in or move towards. That's where your power lies in a lot of ways in the next 48, okay? At least some of which. But I really feel like naturally with the Divine Feminine, and now we have the Empress. I love this card. You're feeling quite in your Divine Feminine in the next 48, and that's feeling quite amazing to you, I feel. And to me, I feel like even if you are a very masculine individual, this is going to feel healing. It's going to stem from your caring nature, from this peaceful way of being, okay? And so let it teach you something, let it remind you something of importance for oneself. And I feel like your connection to, okay, they're saying to God, to spirit, to nature, to other people, people feeling quite connected to you. I want to say this Two of Cups even talking about your connection to a community, whether that's online, in person, you name it, okay? They're saying a community of spirits. But either way, I feel like you are coming back to oneself in certain ways in the next 48 in a very peaceful manner, and allow for oneself to recognize that this peaceful, still, but productive vibe about you and your next 48 is how your situation, your life should be moving forward. Let's keep improving, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your next 48, and I'll see you next time.